Hey, what's up YouTube? Sky Badger here, and we're back on day... I can't even remember what day it is, actually. Well, let's start by checking that newspaper, and we can figure that out for a start. It seems like a good way to start the video. Day 4, so actually the end of day 4. So this is the first time I've actually gotten a little bit of a chance to sit down and record some live commentary, okay? So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. As we can see, we're one of the world's most popular nations in 4th place. Apart from that, though, the game's not going too well. So if we actually wait for the other stat to click over, I guess, the world's mightiest armies, we don't make the list. Now, thankfully, some of our allies have made the list, and they look really good on there, but we have not. We can also, if we have a look in here, we come all the way down, and we don't actually appear on this list until, I gotta keep going, 77th. So pretty slow start. As a team, we're strong. As an individual, I'm not. So, as you guys will be aware, we've been fighting Spain for the past few days, and although I'm, doing a pretty good job, he's lost more than I have. It's going to take a bit more than that to get us across the line. As we can see here, yeah, 28,000 to 15,000, so we're almost, killing 2 for every 1 we lose. However, he's got these fortifications here, and these are bloody hard to crack. As we can see, he's already increasing them up to level 4. So to get around this, we have tried doing some raids in the past, but his defenses are pretty strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the UK in, and we're going to get the UK to do what we, I guess, couldn't. So the UK has enough troops that he can flank around, and he can make a dent, and that will make Spain have to draw troops out. Now, while I would have liked to have done this myself, the issue being if I take any troops away from this front line, then he can attack and my defense will collapse, and then there's no point having my troops around here when he's raiding through my core, killing me. So, yeah, a little unlucky there. He's very fortunate that he only has to defend 2 points, while I have to spread my troops over 3. And he can attack, pretty flexibly, so it's been a little tough. However, we're doing okay. We're holding, we're just not doing great. Actually, let's just turn the morale map on. Why have we got it off? No, that's a support request. Okay, so morale map. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So we had a raid up here the other day that we dealt with. We also overnight did a very good job of dwindling down the troops in this fortification. They came out to attack, and we did some good damage to them. So we'll fly over now and we'll check that out. We also made, it wasn't a bad move, but it was, it didn't play out how we liked. We attacked the fort here last night in an attempt to break it, and it just so happens that just as our troops were marching in, because it takes a few hours to get there, 7 hours, a lot can change in 7 hours, he produced a new arty and pulled in reserves to buff up the fortifications, and by the time we got there, it was just too tough to crack, and we lost a few troops attacking that, sadly. So, a little bit of wasted opportunity there, but we learned our lesson. Basically, don't attack here. What we're going to try to do is we're going to keep shooting and scooting over here. You can't beat shooting and scooting. So we're going to keep doing that over here. We've got some decent arty. We've got 5 arty and 4 infantry. So he's not going to, well, he tried. He's not, actually, I say he's not going to, but he did last night. I don't expect him to push back. He's too sensible of a player. He knows really that if he leaves the forts, he's in for a bit of a thrashing. Just like I now know that if I attack the forts, I'm in for a thrashing, and he'll kick my ass. So, yeah, we've got to wait for the UK to come around. And, it's really annoying because I've done all this work against Spain, and the UK is going to pretty much come in and pretty much do all the damage. So that's a little sad there. Up here, we can also see that we are gearing back up to go into here and take these provinces here. Now, we're low on manpower, and the only way to increase manpower is barracks, which we can do, and capture new land. Now, it just so happens that capturing these territories as well will give us more food, which we need desperately, more rear, which we need desperately, and more goods, which we need desperately. Saying that, we need pretty much every resource desperately. So, we're going to go back in there soon, we're going to give it another go. We're just waiting for an armoured car to come over, and then I might push the attack. We'll see how we go, but I definitely want to wait for an arty to come over, and then what I'll do is I'll just start shouting them out, and then if they want to push, they can. At the same time, capturing the capitals give me a bit of morale boost, and that will go a long way. Now, what else do we have to talk about? So, oh yeah, we killed the Greek convoys down here. We did a good job of that, and after that we came in and we blockaded this port here. And because we blockaded the port here, you know, he's produced this destroyer and it's pretty much gone straight to war. So what we're doing now is we're sending in some more subs to help finish that off and make sure he doesn't win. This time when we blockade the port, we're going to put 2 submarines in it. For some reason last night, I don't know if I was tired or whatever it was, but I blockaded the port, and for some reason, I didn't think there was a port, if that makes sense. So I took one of the subs out. Anyway, bad move on my end, or else this combat would be going a hell of a lot better. We'll focus on ourselves just a bit more. We'll have a look at what we're building and what we're training before we go elsewhere. As you can see, at the moment, we're building a submarine, another submarine, artillery, and interceptor. We're really trying to build up our air force as best we can. At the moment, we have 3 planes. However, as we can see, the morale on them is pretty low. We're trying to just use them for scouting and attacking the odd artillery piece here and there. However, I'm not having much luck with the old attacking part. At the same time, we can see that we're also building some very interesting stuff. We got an infrastructure level 2, a level 2 port, and a level 3 runway. Now these are my backup plans should everything fail against Spain, okay? So basically what we're doing is, if we come into here, we can see at the moment, we are researching, where is it? Cruisers, okay? So the cruisers, they will be produced from here. If we can get cruisers, what we can do is we can pair them up with a lovely infantry, or AC, and we can park it just off Barcelona and just march in and take it. And if he wants to leave troops there to try to defend it, he can, but I'll just shell them out. So that's what the cruisers are for. At the same time, if we have a look, we're building a level 3 runway. So level 3 runway, down here we also need to build a capital, is to produce paratroopers. If we can produce paratroopers, we can easily jump behind the forts and take out these cities. If we can take out his cities, his points of production, we can lower his ability to replace troops. So, I mean, he has these stacks here, and we are slowly dwindling them down. Slowly, but the problem is, it is slow because he's got them in level, you know, level 4 forts. So it's not a fast process, but England's actions here will definitely speed things up. And then there was one more thing that we're working on, and that comes from the level 2 infrastructure. We're going to upgrade this to level 3, and then we're going to build railroad guns, okay? So as we can see, he's got artillery in his forts, and although we can keep shooting and scooting, he's eventually going to catch on to what we're doing. Railroad guns outrange everything. We can park them up here, and we can just fire on him for days. At this point, he doesn't have any level 2 infrastructure anywhere, so if he wants to match us once we get those out, it's going to take him a while to get there. So like I said, the United Kingdom is coming down here to attack Spain. Now we've also got Germany here. Now Germany is at war with Sweden, so Sweden has been made to attack Germany, and I don't think that's gone too well. If we come and have a look in the newspaper, and let's just go let's go enemies and allies. At the same time, I do remember Alice saying Finland was meant to be helping us. However, based on the path he's taken here, he's either about to raid through his territories or he's moving into defensive positions. It's kind of hard to say, but I don't know. At the same time too, the shared map has been given to me for the point of recording. So, although I know this, I haven't told my allies. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they look at that and they see what's happening. I'm sure they probably will realize at some point. As we can see, he's got naval bombers, and a lot of these troops are going by sea all the way down here. So they're in for a bloody rough time if they are planning to attack. So at the same time too, finishing off Czechoslovakia, and Italy is slowly rebuilding. We've already funded enough for him to rebuild his industrial complex in his core, and he'll soon have enough to build another one here if we keep going at the rate we are. At the same time too, his forces have marched down through Yugoslavia with the help of Ukraine and are starting to get ready to assault Greece, who has an ass whooping coming. At the same time too, in the Middle East, we can see that Torpedo has finally gotten around to attacking Pakistan and is doing a bloody good job of it and moving really fast here. He's going to be looking to expand into the Asian region pretty soon. At the same time, I'm pretty sure Lord Keck is South India, and if you ask me, it doesn't look like he's having too good of a time. Potentially busy, real life, but he usually does a bit better than this. I'd say by the fact his troops aren't moving, he's more or less given up, or never tried to start with. One thing that was interesting about this is he really didn't expand too far. He pushed up into here and took some AI territory, but usually he does a bit more than that. I'd be tempted to think that Lord Keck in this case has just run out of time. Our ally Saudi Arabia has gone around to pretty much taking out all the AIs around him, and he actually has a pretty substantial force. So we click on him and we come into information, we can see that he has 47 troops, and we only have 33. Now, admittedly, that's because 15 of ours have died in combat, or else we'd be pretty much the same as him. He's been pretty fortunate that he's only been able to fight AIs and do it at his own pace. We'll be fighting Spain, and Spain is a lot better than AI. If we zoom out, do we have any intel on what's happening here? I should probably actually go through and accept some of these shared maps. Give me more to talk about. Drama around Australasia, I guess. So that's pretty interesting to see where that's going. It looks like New South Wales is holding its own against Western Australia, and Papua New Guinea appears to have stopped with the land grab. Up over here, ooh, how's this one going? So this was really interesting because they started a war that I'm not sure they necessarily could finish. So up here we have Dark and a few of his allies. We have Northwest USA, we have British Columbia, Alberta, and I still can't pronounce that. As we can see, this player here appears to have been raided up through into these territories. It's hard to tell if they have been able to stop it. It looks as though they've been successful, but considering the raid is here, I imagine not. Once again, he has a tank, anti-tank gun heading in, so potentially he might be able to handle it. We still have some large stacks in the region that are pretty capable of defending, but if we have a look at the morale map, we can see the general trend. North Mexico has pushed up pretty quick and is assaulting from this side here, and if we have a look at some of these stacks, you can see that it is a force to be reckoned with. At this point, artillery and anti-tank guns is the only way to really stop this sort of thing. You need infantry as well. It's an all-round good army there. Hard to beat in combat. Artillery, shooting a scoot, best options, but yeah, it's a little rough there. And once they get up to here, it's just going to make it even harder for the likes of British Columbia to defend. So I believe these players up here are at war with the players. They pretty make up most of this land over here. So we've got a few unknowns in the region, the likes of Colorado and Texas, but I don't really know what they're up to. They clearly haven't picked a side. So, at the same time, Cuba's making some good expansion. Cuba's looking great. Well, the Caribbean, actually. Always call it Cuba. But the Caribbean, looking good. Down here, we can see that Venezuela is making some good progress as well. And it appears as though he might actually be going to attack South Mexico, which would be an interesting move, considering I don't think he has his South secure. At the same time, too, it's probably about time that the South started to clean itself up and really figure out who's side it's on and what the teams are. As we can see, it looks as though South Argentina has been getting a little bit of hammering by South Brazil. Is South Brazil still in the game, or is that just a raid gone really, really bad? Got North Brazil. Yeah, I think in this case here, South Mexico's just traveled down the coast and has just raided through these territories here, inflicting a lot of damage on poor South Argentina. If we come back over into Africa, it's a little hard to say what's happening at this point, but we do have a few different coalitions in here at the moment. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and where's the fifth? I think this is the fifth here, that are in a coalition. At the same time, we've got a group of players down here that are in coalitions as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. We need to get our shit sorted before they do, or else we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we've really got to clean up Spain as quick as we can. So, oh, Sky, you effed that up, didn't you? Yeah. God damn it. Got distracted with the video. Oh, we actually still did some good damage, though. So that's a little bit of a shame there when that happens, when you get distracted. Hopefully we didn't lose an artillery piece. That's my only concern there, is that in our negligence we lost an artillery piece, and we didn't shoot and scoot. Keep getting distracted on those. Myself. Oops. Not going to have anything between myself and Germany. So open it back up, give it another chance. So it would appear as though I didn't lose anything there. However, considering the damage I took, and the int has not... Good, I think it got to it in time. The int hasn't done a patrol. We did some damage there. We've drawn this artillery piece down to 7 hit points, 2 more, and we get it down to 1 artillery piece. At the same time, we're slowly working away with these infantry, 9 more damage, and we get there. One thing we need to realize as well is that it's going to be really hard to get here because these units are only taking 20% of the damage we fire at them. So even with all this, when we fire, we have the potential to do about 10 damage. Only 2 of those points are getting through. Unless he rolls really unlucky with the random factor, in which case we can hope to do a little bit more damage. But it's going to be a very, very slow one. So that's why I need my railroad gun, so I can just stay out of range and just bombard him all day with impunity and not have to worry about attacks. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave the episode there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.